This program brought to you by ACS. Think ahead, create the future, change the world. This is Swipe on Your Money.
Hello, I'm James Daggar-Nickson and welcome to Swipe, the show designed to keep you up to date with all the latest and the greatest trends and products in tech. Coming up.
Well, it was another big year for us here in Australia, and we know when things happen, they are happening on Twitter.
Indeed, we reveal what took out the top hashtag in Australia this year and what to expect from the little blue bird in 2019. Plus, beer, the lifeblood of the Australian nation. Later on Swipe, we look at the latest in home brewing. But first, as the year comes to a close, it's time to look back at the moments that had the world searching for answers. It was the year we all tuned in to watch the royal wedding, the Commonwealth Games, and celebrated the rescue of a dozen young Thai soccer players and their coach. But it was also a year we despaired at the loss of some of the world's greats. However, in a year of ups and downs, it seems that people search for good more than ever before.
It takes a few seconds, so I'll switch this one on. And we'll just say, if Mummy talks.
Alex? 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 Hello, you.
This is a miracle rescue. All 13 members of the soccer team are out of the cave.
He turns into a superhero set on feeding as many homeless people as possible.
This election, we've seen historic voter turnout.
In all Asian cast, there's nothing more empowering.
Can we go right up and do it? Yes!
Saying the word
Yanni. However difficult life may seem, while there's life, there is hope.
Kids have the dream, they just want to know that someone cares.
We got love for you. It's only right. We got to stay together.
Good. The world is filled with people doing the best they can, you know, who love their kids and would like to live their lives with a little dignity and hope, just like everybody else.
Courtesy of Google there. Well, it hasn't only been a big year in searches, it's been a big year in tweets. And Australians are tweeting about the issues that impact all of us more than ever before. For more on this year in tweets, we spoke to Twitter Australia Managing Director, Susie Nicoletti. Susie, look, thanks very much for joining us today. Look, as we head towards the end of 2018, seems like a perfect time to see what people were tweeting about. What were some of the popular issues this year for Twitter, or that you saw on Twitter? So, to begin with, key topics, what sort of trends, what were we talking about this year?
Well, it was another big year for us here in Australia, and we know when things happen, they are happening on Twitter. So what took out our top hashtag for the 5th year in a row was Ozpoll. We have one of the most politically engaged conversations here in Australia. And just to put that in perspective, if we think of all the political events across Asia Pacific, hashtag libspill actually had more tweets than hashtag Trump-Kim Summit. So massive conversation on politics, and then also always that cheeky little bit of fun. So hashtag libspillfilms had one of the most amazing meme conversations that we'd seen. So no one does a meme quite like Australians.
Oh, that's good to hear. No one seems to be as politically engaged. I mean, is that the fact that Ozpoll, 5th year in a row, are we more or seemingly more engaged in politics than other markets?
Yes, so Australia has always been one that has been big on political conversation. You typically see trends kind of sift in and out, but Ozpol has anchored in there firmly at #1. And this will be a trend that we continue to see, especially heading into an election year. We have politicians coming together to share their perspectives, and everyone, coming together to share and discuss their views on them.
Are we different in any other way? In any other ways, the way that we interact on Twitter versus other markets? Are there, unique characteristics of the way the Australians use Twitter at all?
Well, there's always humor. And I do have to say, there's always a bit of humor. Another thing about the Australian market is that we were one of the early trendsetters in social movements. So if we think to last year, half of the top 10 hashtags were around social movements. And that continued again this year. We saw a big movement towards that. That same theme, but with a slight difference. I think in the past people could come together and share and discuss a concept, but now it's moved towards action. So this year we actually saw a movement like climate change become, hashtag climate strike, where students were coming together to actually take action. We saw that start with marriage equality last year as well.
And can I ask, how does that fit in with the view from Twitter as to what you are providing, the aim, if you like, mission statement of what Twitter is trying to be for people?
Yes. So Twitter was always a platform that was created for the people and has come to life by the people. So that's always interesting. We're here to serve the public conversation, and what we focus on is being the absolute best place for people to come together to see what's happening and to talk about it. So that can be anything from politics to news to entertainment to sport. That's really our mission, is making sure we're bringing people together to have their voices heard so they can share and discuss what's happening.
And we've seen it change over the years, the way that it's used, the things that you can do on Twitter. Looking into next year and beyond, I mean, should we expect to continue to see innovation from the platform?
Absolutely. So it started as a simple 140 character tweet, and now that's gone to 280. We have, richer media, and we actually have seen a big emergence on live streaming. This market in particular was one of the earliest adopters of live streaming. So the Melbourne Cup was the very first live stream done by Twitter outside of the NFL back in 2016. So in this market, there's a tremendous amount of live stream content, and we'll expect to see even more of that around some of the key events happening next year.
And what? I mean, is it just the big sort of, the race that stops the nation sort of size events, or does it get to smaller as well? I mean, what are you streaming, and where are you seeing the popularity?
It's always changing. That's the fun of the content game. So we have your big events. We have, Melbourne Cup again growing. We have the Arias as well. 3.4 million viewers coming to watch the Arias live carpet on Twitter.
That's extraordinary. 3.4 million to watch a red carpet.
Yes, very entertaining crowd there. We also have, big, live shows such as around the World Cup. We actually brought a live show straight from the World Cup this year, which is fantastic. And then you also get that content you wouldn't expect. So the Whistler Surf Pro was a really big one for us in terms of popularity. And e-sport, people are coming to kind of consume that interesting and fun, unique content.
Where then for brands, for companies, I mean, beyond the individual, what are some of the trends and the dynamics you're seeing as far as how they're utilizing the platform?
Yes, so brands are working with us to be the best at what's happening. So that enables them to launch something new or align with what's happening. And we had a couple brands do that exceptionally well this year. So you could see an Xbox as an example, really capitalized on that conversation around esport, around gaming, and they really engrossed themselves in terms of what was happening. You saw Apple actually launch their Apple event and live stream that on Twitter. So some really great work happening there. And as we look to the future, I think this is where we're going to start to see brands stand for something a little bit more. We're going to see a little bit more of emotion as the new currency. We're going to see some work around brand purpose. And a brand that did that really well this year was actually NAB. So they did align to some key moments, but they also had their CEO out actively speaking and talking everyone, the public, through his stance, what was happening throughout the Royal Commission.
And is there a view that they're seeing greater engagement than simply sort of being a presence for almost a point of sale sort of interaction and relationship with the people in the universe?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're seeing is that consumers they want to have trust. They want to actually believe in a brand, and they want to understand its purpose a little bit deeper. And so by having brands stand for issues such as ANZ really becoming entrenched and owning the Mardi Gras conversation and standing for that, that helps build trust and association with the brand.
Speaking of the people out on the Twitter sphere, how important is their feedback and what they say they like and don't like to some of the innovations we've seen, over the years when it comes to Twitter and what you're building to in the future?
Yeah, so the consumer landscape has changed. I remember when I came out here 10 years ago, we were in an age of marketing media where we would launch something and we might kind of take consumer feedback at the end of that and see if we could tweak things next time around. Now we're actually taking to platforms like Twitter to source the consumer before we launch. So we saw this this year with Airbnb. Actually went to Twitter before they launched their next program. They asked, the public, what do you guys want from us? And they were surprised at the feedback. People wanted parking, people wanted gyms, and they used this to actually launch the Superhost program. We know that Delta Airlines actually sourced Twitter. They used a polling card on Twitter to have people vote for what movies they wanted to have showing on their flights. So as a platform, we are always asking our consumers, and that's a trend we think will continue next year.
And just finally, when looking at what Twitter is becoming and almost the organic nature by which that is unfolding, how important is that engagement with the users when it comes to what is it is a competitive landscape? Well, look, it's a crowded landscape, maybe is a better way to put it in terms of the platforms that are available to people.
So for us, we're going to continue to focus on what we do best, which is being the best place to show everyone what's happening and what people are talking about. We know there's enough great content happening there that if we really focus on this mission, we make sure it's a really rich and immersive experience, our user growth will keep growing as it has done for the last 9 quarters.
Fantastic. Susie Nicoletti, do appreciate you joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's rejoice. After the break, we take you to Swipe's very own testing facility to try the latest offering from Brew Art.
And now, more Swipe on your money.
Welcome back. If there's one thing the team at Swipe like to do over the silly season, it's drink. But not just any kind of drinking. Here at Swipe, we take our drinking seriously, striving to take it to the next level and give it a high-tech twist. This week, we took it upon ourselves to test the world's first fully automated home brewing system so that you at home don't have to. So, pour yourself a frothy one. Sit back, relax after a hard day's work because this one is on us. So as we approach the festive season, we at Swipe started to think about what are some of the things that we can highlight? What are some of the things that go really well with Christmas? Unanimously, we all came up with alcohol. And of course, take your pick as to what you like to drink, but we thought, what are some of the things we could do around alcohol? We immediately went to home brewing, but not just any kind of home brewing, sort of technologically advanced home brewing. And that is where Brew Art kicks in. I want to bring in Liam to talk us about the offering from Brew Art. Liam, look, appreciate you joining us today. Here is the setup. It's very, very cool, the kit. Talk us through it.
Well, Brew Art, it's a fully automated brewing system for your home. So basically, we've all had crazy experiences of people of bad tasting home brew, sour beer. What this does is it takes all of the guesswork out of brewing and actually just makes it simple and easy to do at home. Now
this is the beer droid. This is where the magic happens. Explain, and it looks great, I've got to say, explain what's going on in here and how it differs to that traditional home brewing.
Beautiful, yeah, this is where the magic of fermentation happens. So one of the key factors when making a good consistent beer is to have consistent temperature control of your beer when it's fermenting. So what this has is it has a heater and a refrigerator built into it. It's also got sensors in there, so it can tell when your beer is fermenting. It'll send you a message to your phone and let you know when your beer is fermenting.
Just say beer time?
When it's good
to be drunk?
It'll let you know, it'll say congratulations, your beer is fermenting, and then it will send you a message when you're away from home, say hey, your beer's ready to drink. So it'll let you know everything along the way. It's also connected up through your app, as I mentioned. So yeah, it will all be through the Wi-Fi, connected to your app, and it'll let you know when everything's all done.
Now, in terms of the process, because a lot of people might be time poor in these sorts of times, how long does it sort of take, and what have we got here?
Yeah, here are the recipe packs called the Brewprints. Over 50 different Brewprints that we have available at the moment.
And that's what, so does that per a different type of beer is one Brewprint? So you have 50 types of beer?
50 different types of beer that we make. So there's always bringing out new ones. The process is simple. So it's, for people that are time poor, it's perfect. You basically just sanitize the beer droid with the tablet here, sits in there for about an hour, dump it out, fill it up with water, sprinkle on your yeast, and then just sprinkle the ingredients on top, push a button on your phone and away she goes.
Really? And how long then from that moment until you're good to get it out of the beer flow?
It depends a little bit on the style of beer that you're making. So if you're doing like an ale, you can probably take about 5 to 7 days in the beer droid. And then if you're doing a lager, you're probably looking at about 10 days in the beer droid. Then both beers need to be put into a keg for 2 weeks before you can drink it.
Okay, and then you can put it into this, I assume.
Yes.
And start to enjoy it.
Exactly. After about 3 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on the style of beer, fill up a keg, put it in here, and you can all pour it from the brew flow. Now, the beauty of the brew flow, it is temperature controlled as well, so you can set your temperature to where you like it. If you like to do like a stout a little bit warmer, set it to 8 degrees, away she goes, you'll pour your beer at 8 degrees. The beauty of it as well is that there's no CO2 needed to dispense the beer.
Right.
So it's not like a pub where they have a canister and fill in your CO2. It's kind of a different process where it naturally carbonates inside the keg, and we just use air to squeeze the beer out, and so you don't have to keep refilling CO2 canisters.
Who is this sort of stuff geared towards? I mean, who is the natural buyer, if you like, of these sorts of homebrew kits?
Anybody and everybody, really. But I mean, for the beer lover, someone who likes to get their hands dirty and make things themselves, this is perfect for them. So, someone who's looking at getting into brewing, someone who's been brewing for a little bit, but maybe not happy with the results, this will get a really consistent beer time and time again.
Key question: how much?
That is the $799 question. So $799 for the beer droid. That's the machine that will make the beer for you, and then $699 for the brew flow. So that's the machine that will dispense the beer as well.
And I've got to ask. I've been wanting to ask this since you came in. What's your favourite? I mean, you've got over 50 different types of beer available. What's your go-to?
I'm an IPA man myself. Love a really bitter IPA, but it really depends on what style of beer you like. I brought along a lovely lager today, so we can give that a try.
Well, on that point, Len, it seems it would be remiss of us not to try the good. So let's get into it.
I couldn't agree more.
Here you go.
Thank
Pour
you,
away.
So we can get some head on it.
Beautiful.
Cool. Beautiful.
Let's see how we go. It's all in the tilt, Len. I don't want to tell you how to do it. It's all in the tilt, buddy.
It definitely is.
Just going to go for the head and we drop down.
Oh, you've done this before?
I've done this before. Many wasted hours in pubs in my youth. All right, Liam. Cheers.
Cheers, Chaz.
Oh, yeah.
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 Nice.
Beautiful.
Belgian
So,
lager.
on swipes, out of 5, how many? Well, you can't really mark down a beer, can you? Oh, 4.5 swipes.
Cheers.
All right, on that, we've got to take a break. When we come back, the clock is ticking to get all your Chrissy presents. And for all you tardy people out there, we're going to feature some pretty cool last-minute tech options to stuff under the tree. That's next.
We'll be back with more Swipe on Your Money. And now, more Swipe on Your Money.
Welcome back. Well, the countdown to Christmas is well and truly on, but for some viewers, the Christmas shopping as well, perhaps not done. Fear not. Rest easy. Pat yourself on the back for watching the show tonight, because the tech guide, Stephen Fennick, joins us to share his top affordable tech gifts perfect for the whole family. Steve, appreciate you joining us. I imagine there's a whole host of people in the situation that this is going to solve. Let's start the tablet.
Sure.
And mentioned, these are all under $200.
All under $200. So if you've got that last-minute Christmas gift idea that's not going to break the bank, we've got the solutions right here. Well, let's start with the Essential 8. This is a Telstra tablet. This is made by Alcatel. 8-inch screen, so it's got 4G connectivity as well, so slip in a SIM card and you've got 4G on the go if you're not in Wi-Fi. But it also has a family zone, or sort of a kids mode as well, so that you can hand this to your child and they're not going to interfere with all your content. So a great first tablet for a child, maybe a tablet they may need for school next year, and a great time of year to gift that kind of device at Christmas time.
Explain the family zone. How does the family zone?
Well, it's called Kids Zone. Family Zone's on the phone that we'll talk about in a sec, but this has got a Kids Zone area where you activate that mode, and then all the apps, the games that the child that you've set up for them are accessible on the front screen.
Yep.
So, for $129, it's pretty good value, and it's coming from Telstra, so you know that once it's connected to 4G as well, you can use it on the go.
From the tablet to the smartphone. Now, this for kids that have been hassling their parents for a smartphone?
It's this time of year, I think, where parents are agonising over what phone do I buy my child. Perhaps they want to gift the phones for them to use at school next year. They might be primary school age, you know, starting high school. So here's the Alcatel 3, and this is the Family Zone app that's built in. So you get 12-month subscription to Family Zone. And what that is, that's a parental control app that allows parents to take control of screen time, the apps you download, the content you can view. So the child's excited they're getting a phone, but mum and dad have got a bit of peace of mind that they can, that even though this is a connected device, they can still keep an eye on what they're doing. It's not like you're going to let your child look at whatever they want on the family computer. This has got a similar connectivity, so you can still, while using Family Zone, have a top-down view of what they're doing and control the screen time. If they don't want to turn the screen off, you can say, sorry, it's time for bed.
Not your choice, kid.
That's exactly right. And yeah, so $199, available from familyzone.com.au, and again, Alcatel 3.
Now, I was very excited to see these set of headphones on the table. I have to confess, I have a pair of AudioFly, so I'm very keen to hear about these ones.
These are the AF33Ws. Now, these are Bluetooth, sound terrific. Australian company, by the way, AudioFly, Aussie company. These are $59.95. So for a slick-looking pair of Bluetooth earphones, that's a pretty good deal. And plus, you know, they're water-resistant, you know, sweat-resistant, so you can use them in the gym, you can use them on a run, and you've literally got no cable connecting you to your device, so they're not going to pop out of your ears while you're running or in the gym. That Bluetooth connection, you can stream your music. Great audio quality. It's got the latest Bluetooth version on board. All the controls and the batteries are even built into these controls here, so you get plenty of battery life and the control at your fingertips as well.
I was going to say, you sort of touched on it there. I can attest audio quality, particularly for a Bluetooth earphone, is really good.
For a $60 pair of earphones, so very surprising.
All right, and the last one, I got to say, one of the ones I'm most excited about.
Best to last.
Don't mind a drone, and this one looks very cool.
This is, well, it's going to be another drone Christmas. Every year we say drone's going to be popular, and this year's no exception. And this is a $99.95 drone. This is the Air 20 from Navigator. Now, this, I think, is a sort of, if you're looking to buy a child a drone, you're not going to spend $3,000 on a DJI Mavic Pro because it's just too much drone for them to handle. This is more affordable and more appropriate to a younger user, or even maybe a first-time drone user. But for parents who are wondering what drone to buy, this is kind of a good price range, and it offers all the features you're looking for. It's got a camera built in, removable, rechargeable battery. It even comes with a full-size controller that you can add your phone as well, so you can then stream whatever the drone sees on the app as well. So that's a feature that's on drones that cost 5 times more than that. So for under $100, you're getting that whole drone experience. It's an affordable price, and it does tricks, it does flips. It's really easy to take off and land. So a good first drone, and a good drone to buy your younger child as well this year.
How hard are they, as someone who's flown a lot of drones, are they difficult to get the hang of in terms of when you start trying to fly them?
Not really. I think if anyone's ever played a video game, and use the thumbsticks, I think you naturally take to it. But you know, I'm actually a licensed pilot, so I did a full course, and I know all the safety that you need to know, and I can now do it professionally if I want to. So there is a lot to learn, especially in the safety area, and also where you can fly it safely. This little guy here, that's okay to fly that anywhere you want, but once you get over 2 kilos, you really need to be careful where you fly it.
Rough, just off at the top of your head, how long could this thing fly for? Do you think battery life?
Flight time, probably you get about probably 8 to 10 minutes out of it.
And for those that are maybe for an older person, there is a great range, right? Price point in terms of and sophistication of these things.
You can spend $100 or you can spend $5,000 on a drone, and it's up to you just how sophisticated you want your drone, how powerful you want your drone, the quality of the camera on the drone, and just the sheer size of the drone. There's all these variables, but I think for a beginner, a child, I think that's a great choice.
Right. 5 fantastic options for under $200. Unbelievable.
That's it.
Stephen Fennick, wonderful as always have you on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is Swipe for this week. Don't forget you can watch the show online anytime at yourmoney.com.au. We also have a podcast. I'm James Daggar-Nickson. Thanks for watching.
This program brought to you by ACS. Think ahead, create the future, change the world.